In a world where Africans have lost their roots, it has become of vital importance to document our ways. In an effort to reverse the brainwashing of the past, where we were made to believe our ways are demonic, we are pressed to create dignified and respectful platforms to unpack our spiritual ways.
And welcome back to Moya. Moya alright, Moya upright. Moya is all together. Moya is just doing the most beautiful, amazing things. Thank you so much for all your contributions. And we humbly ask for more because the more you contribute, the more episodes we can have. So we really appreciate you guys. Remember to like, subscribe, and share because obviously we want to grow the community. As usual, I've got an African scholar, healer, to unpack some more of this beautiful journey that we are on. Gogo Sikelwa, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us. You've got a book. Thank you. So I'm just jumping in, sorry, without even welcoming you. Just going to show the people. So this is who you are, Molo Gogo. Unjani. Thank you so much for coming and making time to be with us.
You're welcome, Gogo.
You know, we're speaking about spirituality in the 21st century and what it means, because it was different things back then and it means different things now, or it shows itself differently. So can we expand on that a little bit?
Spirituality evolves, but it never changes. What the universe is doing right now is taking us back to how things were done, how our ancestors were living, so that we know how to move forward. We can never know how to move forward if we don't know what happened in the past. So spirituality is all about knowing who you are, knowing your calling, knowing the people who control your life or who guide you or lead you. And then that's how we get in touch with our spirituality and know more about it. I don't think it changes other than like moving with times. So if we as people, we let our ancestors guide us because they know the future, they know our journey, they know what we don't know, they lived before us. So then if everything starts from connecting with them and then to help us connect with everything and know who we are, where we are meant to go, know about our destiny. So everyone right now is struggling to connect. Everyone doesn't know where to start because we don't understand that in order to move forward, we need to look back. We need to look back to those who lived before us. We can never. I personally tried living my life the way I pleased. I failed till I connected with my ancestors and I noticed they had been there even though I was not paying attention to them. They were there. So that's what spirituality is all about. It's about connecting with the spirits that are meant to guide us and teach us about spirituality for that matter, because it's complex, it's broad, it involves a lot of things, and then it's even worse for us who are called. It's worse because even our ancestors are many, and there's lots of groupings within them.
What do you mean? So unpack that for us.
Okay. We have blood. Our ancestors, the ones like Okokobetu,
the ones who
the
gave
bloodline.
birth.
Yes, we have Umdau ancestors. Umdau ancestors. Umdau tribe is the original tribe that occupied Southern Africa with the Khoisan.
Okay.
We are from the north. The Ngunis and everyone are from the north. The Tongas, the Vendas, are from the Ndau tribe, are the real Umdau. And then when we came, we fought with Umdau. We conquered Umdau. Umdau said, I will conquer you and your descendants. So that's why we bow to Umdau. We bow to Khoisan because they are the original occupants of Southern Africa. So that's why I said in the beginning that we need to go back to know how to move forward, because we need to know these things. My ancestors made sure that I knew these things, like they came in a form of revelations, and that is what Ukutwasa is all about. A lot of people think that Ukutwasa is going a peshlweni. Ukutwasa is knowing who you are, where you come from, where your ancestors come from, who's your original ancestor. We have one original ancestor, all of us. That's why we are one. And then we say the spirit is one, because we come from one place. However, we got scattered along the way. However, we need to connect to the one spirit that gave birth to all of us. And then I unpack in the book how are the groupings and how do we connect and why do we connect. And currently my ancestors took me deeper to like really deep what I just mentioned about the original occupants of Southern Africa. So that's why we have Umdau as a part of our ancestry. And then because of the spirit infusion, the races that come from outside of Africa, even them become part of our ancestry because of spirit infusion.
Yeah.
And then they got in contact with our ancestors in a way, and now they are part of our ancestry. And then that's why we also call them Umdau, because bafuni ndawo yokuphila nabo good, to use us to make Southern Africa a better place to live in. There is a lot coming in the spirit. I heard Umkhulu before me mentioning a whole lot of bad things happening ebungomeni, which are true. They are so true. Spirituality is not in a good state currently.
Yeah.
However, our ancestors are doing a lot backstage. They are doing a lot with a lot of people. I have a lot of clients all over South Africa, and what I experience with them, I see that our ancestors are working. Are really working. They are showing us a lot of things. They are teaching us a lot of things, and that is why a lot of us are going through self-initiation. That is what we call self-initiation now. It's popular. People no longer. A lot of people no longer go to a peshlweni.
Yeah.
For them to be initiated. Ekhaya, it's happening. It's happening endlini, and it's more nicer at home because. In my peshlweni, a lot is happening, and it's wrong. So when our ancestors now are doing things themselves, it's more, yes, it's complicated and not easy. However, you are dealing with the sources, and there's no mediator. You get it from like your ancestors. They tell you what to do, where to go, when to do it. It's more nicer, even though it takes a lot of time, because they need to do things step by step. They need to make sure you learn. They need to make sure you understand, because there's no one who's going to explain things deeper for you. So they need to make sure that the process is simpler. It's never simpler, but at least it's understandable.
Okay.
So at least you are able to apply. And now they are pushing a lot of people to get to these stages so that they go back and teach those who are behind. So there is a great shift going on, and I'm happy with what I'm seeing. And in few years' time, we will see spirituality better, and we'll view it from a different perspective than what's going on currently. Currently, it's bad. I don't want to lie. It's bad.
Do you want to give us maybe your history, how you twasad and how you discovered your own gift and what happened, like the story behind your journey?
Okay, I come from a family yamagqirha.
Okay.
Singamagqirha sonke. Even
Beautiful.
though some of us are abakathwasa, it's me and my mother currently. However, singamagqirha sonke. So I understood from the beginning that even my grandmother naye ebeqalile ukuthwasa. So I understood from the beginning that nam andizukusheka.
So ukhule kanjani? Where were you and what were you exposed to? Like when you say your grandmother and your mother were healers, so it means that you grew up in a home where.
Yes.
Please paint the picture so we can picture it.
I grew up in a home where my mother was trying to find her own journey, and she was struggling to find it because of what's going on. However, she was doing her best, and we understood uba izinto zesintu zibalekile. Noba bekusithini bendisazi mina into ba singabantu bezihlwele. Siyazenza senza amasiko, so amasiko ebesenziwa ndikhule senziwa ndiwabukela utatomkhulu nefamily yonke ne-extended family siyifamily yamasiko.
This is a township okanye ezilalini. Okay.
Ezilalini. And then even though ndikhule kwi-townships simane simuva mose nabazi no kodwa yonke into ibiqala ezilalini. That's where our roots are.
Land.
Yes, we can be kwi urban areas, but you must know where your roots are. That is critical, and that's we need to teach our kids that banga be too comfortable nobomi basedolophini, but bazazi apho ewe baphile edolophini kodwa izilali zethu during holidays kugodukwe. That's how I grew up, besigoduka. So siyazi la life yasezilalini. So umama mebeyiphusha indlela yakhe yobugqirha, and that's where I learned.
Was she having clients also?
No, ebesebhizi esayifuna nokuthwasa kwakhe.
Okay.
Just because of the ancestors we carry, abengengomuntu obekufanele uye ephehlweni.
Okay.
So ibile self initiation naye.
So she had some or there.
Yes.
Yes.
So however, along the way, because abantu abadala bebefuna umuntu ozomove faster, because of social media and everything, but move amna faster. And she took a step back and let the ancestors push me, and instead she helped me because she understood, okay, abantu badala bafuna upusha yena because le calling it broad, ifuna izinto ezininzi. I had to travel. I traveled to Ghana, Zanzibar.
What is that thing where they make you go up and down? What is that thing?
It's what I was telling you, that we come from the north and west. So I mentioned that we need to go back. So it's part of going back to our roots, where we really come from. Us has come from Embo, Kumbo. That's why I say city Embo, Basembo, which is that side. So because of spirit infusion, we need to go back and connect some things that there. For example, for me to be able to pray from a distance, heal people from a distance, I had to go there. I got the powers there. And
how did you know you had to go? I think I disturbed your story.
My ancestors told me.
Okay, give us. So okay, you grew up.
Okay, let me go and then
let's go back and build
and
it
then
up
I will.
nicely.
Yes, okay.
Yes.
So they showed up strongly, and I was riding away. I was comfortable with the prophetic side. So leyo bugqirha bendibaleka bathi sizombonisa usikelelwa uzoyenza lento sifuna yenza. They said that to my mother. And I got stuck, completely stuck. And I had nowhere to go other than doing what they wanted me to do. So that's how they got my attention. And it was not easy at all, because now I was completely stuck trying to find my way. And I sat down and like, okay, I tried my ways. They didn't work. Now let me follow my ancestors' ways. And that's when I started to see the light. And then I Imvuma Kufa.
Okay.
Which is the official ceremony of accepting your calling.
Okay.
EsiXhoseni sithi imvuma kufa, ngesiZulu nezinye kuvuma. So I went through the process. After finishing the process, EsiXhoseni, it's a long process. It takes weeks. So after finishing the process, my ancestor spoke that now you can move to umndau. Now that imvuma kufa, it's where I appease my bloodline. And now I move to umndau. So umndau like really pushed me forward. And then they told me, okay, for you to be able to start working, go to Ghana. And funeka uye emanzini eGhana. Emanzini phinzi kubani, how? And they had shared a lot of knowledge that time. And
is it through dreams or
through dreams?
Okay.
Mostly through dreams.
Okay.
And visions. So I joined a group on Facebook, and then I was trying now to find someone Ghana who's gonna help me. And this person, I contacted this person who was the manager of the group, and she said, "No, I will try to look someone for you." He came back to me and told me now ufumene umuntu, but didn't give me the details. My ancestor said, "Share what we've taught you. There's a lot that we've taught. Share it." I was refusing because there's a lot of evil going on. I was like, but share. And on that, there is a specific day they spoke. They said share. I was really refusing. But then I was like, okay, now I can feel I could feel in my spirit that nothing was moving. And I said, okay, let me share something. I posted like a line. I don't remember what I said, but according to people, it was a powerful line, according to the audience. Yeah. And they were like, wow. And like few minutes after that, the person in Ghana responded. And when I checked, he responded a long time ago. However, my ancestors wanted me to make sure that I shared, that I taught a lot of people about the journey before I could like move forward myself. That's how it happens. Remember, we are called to help. So everything is about helping others. So our ancestors make sure that we help others. So that's why now nothing is moving well in spirituality, because it's not going that way. Yes, that's not what is happening currently. Yes. So that's why
people are helping themselves.
Yes. So if you are really spirit-led, or your ancestors are really leading you, it will be all about helping people. You will move forward, you can gain or you can unlock certain gifts, but those gifts are not for you, are for people, the people the people you are called to help. So the person, we spoke and then spoke about the trip, how it would go, and I told him how my ancestors wanted things to be done, and then we set a date. Finances were not there.
Yes.
Finances were not there. But I told myself, you know what, I'm going to fight for this. It's going to happen.
Because that's what we're all wondering, listen to the story. We're like, how are you going to get to Ghana?
Finances were not there.
Yeah. They're not even there for Devin. You know what I'm saying?
They were not even there to buy airtime.
Right? So then what happens?
For me to post on Facebook, my mother had to buy me airtime. because they were teaching me a lot, and there was a lot.
Hey, you get humbled, eh?
I was humbled. That's why I put people first. Because no matter what happens, no matter where my ancestors get me, it has got to be about helping people. Because, and the way I help, it's all about doing it the way my ancestors want me to do it. Even if they tell me you are making a mistake, that I quickly move and follow what they want me to do. Because it's all about that. We don't know anything. I've reached like high levels of spirituality. However, I always feel like without my ancestors, there is nothing I can do, because I didn't even know about these things. I didn't even know they existed. So it's my ancestors are there teaching me, and without them, I need them each and every day. So I pushed and I went to Ghana.
How?
And
How did the
Quebec.
money come?
I started having clients. But then even then it was not enough, because I had to pay rent.
It's not enough.
I had
Yes.
3 kids at that time. So it was not enough. However, my brother helped a lot. And there was a client who made sure
So people came forward with the money.
Yes. Not a lot of people. It was my brother and this client. He said, "No, Gogo, you. There is a lot that you are given, and it's gonna bless us. What has to be done in Ghana, has to manifest. It has to happen." So I went and came back. And there were people were coming with prophecies. There is this one. She's very prophetic. Prophetic. She said, when you come back from Ghana, people will just touch you and be healed. I was like, and she said, you will come back wearing white, plain white. I laughed because my ancestors had already told me about plain white. But this, I was like, okay, okay. That's where I came back with the powers to pray from a distance, summoning powers. I can heal you wherever you are. UK, Durban, Cape Town. I've got those powers. So that's what she meant, that I will come back with like great powers. And then we did rituals in Ghana. However, nothing much other than just appeasing ancestors there. And then I left people like they had things they wanted me to to help them with. So there was this one I prayed for. I was just praying, and then she told me, she came back to me, Gogo, it happened. No, serious. So these powers are working. That's how I was. Even the person I went to, he didn't know that I had summoning powers, and he doesn't know even right now that I do these things. So everything is in the hands of our ancestors, not in anyone else.
So sometimes if someone is skeptical and watching this, they'll be like, what do you mean the ancestors said, or you heard the ancestors? What is that?
That's it. I mention it in the book that you need to have a very close relationship with your ancestors. That's where you get to understand their language. Because they speak in many ways. A lot of people will hear, you will hear people saying, my ancestor said this, my ancestor said that. And you think that they said that directly, like as in, Yenza Lendo. No, it came from a dream. And because of what they've taught you and the language you use, you understand. Sometimes they show up, sometimes they speak in voices while we are sleeping. Sometimes, when the communication is mastered, it just comes. You just understand the language they use. So it's even difficult to even specify because it comes naturally. That's why it's all about understanding your ancestors' ways. Once you master that, you will run with it.
I actually understand exactly what you're saying. You mean like even nature will talk to
Exactly.
you? And,
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. You some people even go to the waters and they will say Ugogo showed up. Not even Ugogo showed up. Maybe a bird showed up. But then the person had a dream of the same bird.
And they know that's Gogo. Because I usually live in this world that's Western and where we work in black and white. But it's actually not like that, you know?
To be spiritual, you need to possess the eyes of the spirit. You can't be spiritual and be in the physical. We are in like your eye and have like physical eyes. What makes one spiritual is possessing spiritual eyes. Because if you are still consumed with seeing things physically, and you will struggle to progress spiritually. You have to, everything is spiritual. It's just that we live in the physical. Then you need to imagine the two. I'm living in the physical and I'm spiritual and I have spiritual people guiding me. Then how do I make the alignment so that you understand what is going on? It's all about mastering that. Once you've mastered that, a lot will come. And your ancestors will take you through a lot.
We talk a lot about the ancestors. So how would one connect with if you are completely you don't know these things and you want to know how do I connect with my ancestors?
Everything starts from ukphahla. Ukphahla is talking to your ancestors. Most people use ikhandlela, nempepho. We use different things, but most of the time it's a candle and impepho. So it's where at first you just introduce yourself to your ancestors as if you are new, even though they know you.
Yes.
It starts from like, okay, here I am. Maybe they've showed up before and told you to do things that you didn't do. So you start by apologizing and telling them, I want you to guide me. I want you to lead my life. I tried my ways. Now it's all about following your ways. Then that's when they will show up. However, they don't always show up because of the evil that is done to us. We must not shy away from the evil that is done to us to prevent our ancestors from doing their job with us. It's a lot. It's what blocks a lot of people from having that connection. A lot of people are struggling with connecting with their ancestors because of the evil.
Who are able to separate you from your
exactly
line.
It's happening in big numbers. It's happening in big numbers, Gogo. It's ubugqirha bukhona into eyenzekayo nobubani uthini mina ndiyayazi loo nto uba ubugqirha bukhona abantu bayathakathwa kakhulu. It starts from jealousy because these gifts, evildoers see our gifts at a young age. That's why we need to be aware of these things to protect our kids, because as we are gifted, our kids are gifted. So it's once you make that decision of wanting to know about spirituality, you are not helping yourself but your kids too. If you are lost, your kids will be lost too. If you are empowered, your kids will be empowered too. And as if we focus on empowering ourselves as the nation, we will be an empowered nation. You'll hear a lot of people like complaining and saying a lot, mentioning how things should be done. It's how the ancestry wants to create that shift where people are aware of what's really going on, and evil is part of what is bothering a lot of people. And that's what we are mainly called for, because when someone comes to me, the first thing I need to do is to remove the evil so that they connect with their ancestors. That's where I specialize in removing that evil. I don't laugh with it, I remove it. I remove it. That's my calling. That's my main healing process or healing way. It starts from removing that evil. We do a consultation where I see what is done to you, and then I remove it so that you fully connect. And like you said, people who are watching might not understand what I mean by summoning powers. Remember, evildoers don't come to you physically and tell you they are going to bewitch you. They do it in the spirit. The reason why I'm able to remove what is done in the spirit is because my ancestors remove what is done, whatever is done in the spirit, whatever that is done in your house. My ancestors go straight to it and break it in the spirit. Everything is done in the spirit. So it's not a matter of people will ask me, Gogo, can't I come over? Can't you come? No, that's not how I work. I do it from a distance, and trust me, you won't see a difference next week, next month, tonight. The night we do the cleansing, you will tell me how you slept, how your dreams came out. And not everyone responds the same way, but I have follow-up rituals to make sure that you fully connect. To make for my job to be done, you need to tell me that you dreamt about this. You need to tell me a lot that is from your ancestors. That's where I see and know that you are on the right track. Because your ancestors are the ones who are meant to guide you, not me. I have my own training. Your ancestors need to tell you what to do as my ancestors tell me what to do. So once that evil is done, then you will be able to fully connect with your ancestors.
What are some of the ways that we can protect our auras from the spiritual attacks?
It's difficult because evildoers are advanced. They are like technology. They upgrade now and then. It's difficult because whatever you think works, they are able to counter attack it or to paralyze it. So the spirit protect it, uqiniswa abantu bazothetha ngoba bafuna uqiniswa. Uzuqine kakuhle funeka uqiniswe zizihlwele zakho. Once I remove that evil, then I give your ancestors power over you to do what they want to do with you.
They'll have access, Gogo.
Yes. Nokuqinisa. If I'm able to qinisa nawe, but ancestors nazo zine pride yabo izinto ezinye izinto sifuna uzenzela ngokwethu. So I give them a chance to take over. And do whatever they want you to do, because we are different, we have different ancestors, and the response is always different. So it's difficult to say indoba okanye uzothi sebenzisa this because evildoers counter attack it. What they can't counter attack is what is done in the spirit. They can't. They can't. And that is why my calling is to remove a lot of this evil and empower a lot of people so that the people I help will help others so that we spread. So the ancestry is raising a generation, a powerful generation that will fight this evil that is going on. I won't fight it alone. Like so far, there are people who are able to do what I'm doing, who can cleanse from a distance. Because once there are a lot of people with summoning powers. So my job is to unlock those summoning powers or activate those summoning powers so people are able to use them. So once we use these powers in numbers, South Africa will be a better place.
Yeah, it makes sense what you're saying because, the world is good and bad. So
Yes.
the evil does exist.
It does. Wherever we reach, each and every level of spirituality, there's evil. you may cleanse evil from this level, but then you move to the next. There's also evil to fight. So the spirituality is, everything is dual. Let me put it in that way. Everything is dual. The light, darkness,
yes,
male, female,
yes,
it's
yes,
like that.
yes.
The spirit is like that.
Yes.
So it's all about overcoming. What we need to understand is that we are on this earth to overcome. There is a lot to overcome. Remember, there are generational curses. These curses are not only family curses to break, tribal curses, national curses, continental curses. Remember, when we were conquered in the past, we were not only conquered by whites, a lot of races conquered us.
Yes, yes.
A lot of races conquered us. We need to be aware of
And
that.
continue to.
We are
Yes.
being conquered.
Yeah.
So we were not only conquered physically, we were conquered spiritually, mentally, and financially. Remember, once utwasa, your rewards have to come. It's difficult for them to come because of what was done when we were conquered. Because like our wealth was stolen. So and you know, the people who were doing this, in fact, they were not doing it alone. They were doing it with our own healers, with our own black healers. So kwakumnandi ukunceda umlungu for them. Basazibona ngabelungu unceda nabelungu kanti abelungu sana babasebenzisa into to conquer us. That is why a lot of people will say amagqirha ngoku hayakazi into. It's not like asazi into other than what was done to us spiritually, because whites understood that the people to free South Africa will be spiritual people, not politicians. If you are looking at politicians, you are facing the wrong direction. It's not politicians, it's spiritual people. That's why the focus now is on spiritual people, and that's why a lot was done to attack spiritual people before are even born. So that's why this generation is in darkness. Siyathwasa, siyazama this, siyazama kodwa kunzima. We cannot access our gifts fully. It's because of what was done. And the people who did this knew basifumana njani, and they went straight to the source. Ukuthwasa is all about overcoming that. And if you think when uzoye phehlweni uyophahla ugida, it's part of it. Don't get me well that it's not it. It's part of it, but it's not ukuthwasa. Ukuthwasa is knowing who you are, where you come from, the ancestors you possess, your calling. What is your calling on this earth? Uyathwasa ke, if awazi into awukaqalisi ukuthwasa.
In fact, Mkhulunzingisa says ukuthwasa is the process of self-discovery.
Exactly. Like you discover the things I've mentioned. It's
what you're capable of, who
your
you
gifts.
are.
Yes, your
Because if you don't know your gifts, then you're obviously not using them. And
it's so sad that abantu bathi ndiphumile phehlweni ndithwasile ndagqiba, but umuntu akazi kwanto, akazazi kwayena, akazi kwanto uphume njani ungazazi wena, because initiation is all about knowing everything about you, where you come from. This it's even worse if you don't dream usephehlweni awuphuphi. How will your ancestors tell you these things? How will they reveal these things? Because they reveal everything through dreams. Like everything I'm sharing with you, I didn't know this thing. I didn't know. I didn't know about even the internet has wrong information. Because I discovered something not so long ago, and my ancestors said no, it's not how it went. This is how it went.
oh my.
They are clarifying a lot, because as they unlock these gifts, then you are able to communicate with them like broadly, and they're able to answer you instantly. There is a lot that happens. There is a lot of empowerment that happens to equip you deal with what you need to do, or your calling, or so that you are able to implement whatever you are meant to implement, and you are able to understand it fully.
So we don't control ourselves.
We don't. The Spirit controls us. The edge you have, the edge that I want to make this show happen. It's gonna happen. It's not you, Gogo. It's not you. It's not you. The Ancestral is using you in a big way. Like we are used each and every day. And I had this edge. Beginning of my of indlela yam that ndizobutshintsha ubugqirha. I said that. I even said on Facebook, ndizobutshintsha ubugqirha. Abantu will view ubugqirha differently. I said it. I don't know why I said it. I didn't even know what I was saying. However, it was the edge in me. I was feeling what I was hearing, what my ancestors what were saying about my calling, that you are called to change ubugqirha. You are called uwenza izinto ngendlela kwenza ba ubugqirha bulandelwe ngendlela eyiyo. And when I see these things now, I'm like, yo, ndandingayazi eqaleni, ndandizithethela nje. It was the edge in me that, and seeing how things were wrongly done, uye egqirheni liyakuthatha amandla akho. So ndaqonda yabona yonke lento izotshintsha, and ndizokwenza whatever it takes ba mayitshintshe. I'm gonna play the little part that I'm called to play. Ndingayazi ba it was a plan yabantu abadala. So my point is that we are controlled, 100% controlled. The edge is from the Spirit. Sometimes we call instincts. We'll call them instincts. We have an instinct over. No, it's happening this way. It's the Spirit talking. There is an outer spirit and an inner spirit. The outer spirit works through the dreams. The inner spirit is that edge in you that talks. You feel it, you hear it. Even if when we as suka, but yayiva man lento khona lento the feeling it. Right. There is something wrong ngalo mntu lo. Lo andimthandisisi. It's the Spirit talking. You hear that a lot. We are spirit led. And it doesn't start when you are realizing you have a calling. It starts when you are growing up. I grew up as a child ongafuni into embi, bendingayifuni into embi komnye umuntu. Bendingayifuni. It's now that I understand this thing of having this calling iqale ndisemncinci. Ukukhathaza omnye umuntu andikufuni bendingakufuni ndisemncinci. So we are groomed and prepared even kwi stages sisebancinci. The personality umntana wakho abanayo, understand it and try to groom it, because it's indlela it's how they are wired. Ukuba mabasabela ubizo lwabo banendlela yabo ethile kufanele baphile ubomi babo ngayo.
You know, before I let you go, there are all these words that we always hear with African spirituality. Words like Istunywa, Abelozi, and Zuza. What's all of that? The ancestors is control. Like I said, they are in groupings. So we have different ancestors and categories. So what you've mentioned, the ancestors, is the not all of us nazo. We are dependent when uphethwe ngabaphi, like your lineage ihamba njani, yaba in contact nabani. But isithunywa sinaso sonke isithunywa sinaso. Bakhona isithunywa. And it's difficult to define isithunywa, because there is isithunywa as umuntu othunyiweyo kuwe akuncede akusebenzise. And then siphinde the prophetic side or the prophetic gift of this calling sibiza nayo basisithunywa. To differentiate ba kukhona ithongo kukhona isithunywa. So sibiza ngoba sisithunywa ngabantu abathunyiweyo kuthi basincedise sizo understand le calling. Nabo bane gifts zabo, bane
blessings zabo abaza nazo. Isithunywa sakho singaba ngumlungu, isithunywa sakho singaba liNdia, singaba liChina. And then kukhona ne-gods and goddesses that we connect with. So that's why I said i-ancestry yethu i-broad, ngoba kukhona as ancestors as i-groupings. Kukhona bethongo, kukhona izithunywa, kukhona belozi, kukhona amanono ngaba bancinci abantwana, i-ancestors ezingabantwana abahamba bebancinci. They are powerful. Bafana, and there are people who are controlled ngabanono. So it's all about understanding who are the people controlling you, guiding you and leading you. Because ngabantwana khona bathanda abantwana kanti basebenza nabantwana. Can you see how broad this calling
beautiful.
is? It is. Spirituality is beautiful. And it pains me when I see this evil going on in spirituality. Whereas spirituality is so pure and beautiful. Once you do things the right way, the fulfillment that comes, wow, you feel like one, even if you are not mali, but that fulfillment is everything. That fulfillment is everything. But if you cleanse, for example, if I cleanse someone, let's say I cleanse them today, the following day they tell me, Gogo, this happened. This I dreamt. Gogo spoke. I'm like, wow, this person didn't dream before. And day after, I've done my part. I've played my part. I'm playing my part. And that's so fulfilling. It's so fulfilling. And what we should strive for is to leave this earth having done what we're called to do. If each and every one of us could strive for that, we are called to bring change. We are called to empower. We are called to heal. We are called to motivate. Motivation is highly needed, because we struggle a lot, and people think that this is the ancestors. Why would they let me go through this? No, it's the what I mentioned, the blockages. It's the generational curses that you need to break for you to be free. You need to free yourself when you tell yourself, I'm gonna do this. I told myself, you know what? I'm gonna go through this journey and no one will stop me. That's what I said. I don't care who you are, where you are from, you will not stop me. That's what I said. And people were like, there was someone who said, don't take this journey. It's a difficult journey. And at that stage, I was like, no, I'm taking it, because my ancestors have blocked all angles. There is no door other than this door. I'm gonna go through it. I'm gonna draw and I'm gonna discover. Like, there's a lot of discoveries that I've done, and I get to understand. That's why my ancestors made sure they close all doors so that I focus on this, because a lot was going to be achieved out of me deciding to answer the call.
Beautiful. And thank you. And from that journey, we've got the book. I'll definitely put all the details in the description box so that people can buy the book, guys. Thank you so much, Gogo.
Thank you for having me, Gogo.
Thank you. Thank you for being so generous with your spirit and teaching.
You are welcome, Gogo.
Moya right, Moya alright, Moya upright. It's always such a pleasure being with you guys. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Let's grow the community. And remember that bank account needs you. Love and light.
Who are you when all you were has been diluted by lies and white lines cancelling out all that which has been written of your history? Why do you look at yourself as a mystery? Doesn't the sun shine because you open your eyes? Doesn't the moon stay situated within the same stars your DNA sparkles off? Your spirit knows that surely corner into it off. Buza umoya so you may return to being well off. Because spiritually you are rich, yet your ancestors cry because you are out of reach. But yours is to command all elements while God takes inspiration from the very mirror she looked at to become. Remember who you are and never finish
just when they think that with you, they are done.